Hi, welcome back to my vlog 3. So today I'm going to talk about interesting topic, that is quantum computing, AGI, and agentic AI. So does that ring a bell? So I'm sure you must be, if you're tech enthusiast, you would like to know what's there in the future. And what interesting that has been happening is quantum computing is basically a computer processor, or let's say a processor, which does not work on the principle of 0 and 1 binary. So if you know a bit fundamental of computers, it all works on 0 and 1, that is on and off electrical signals. So the on would mean 1 and off would mean 0. So that's how a binary function for a computer works. And that's how it's I will say the computer understand, the processor understand in that language, 0 or 1, yes or no. And the combination of 0 and 1 is everything for the processing world. I'll stop here for the binary function. Now let's quickly go to the quantum computing. Now what is quantum computing? It's not 0 and 1. It's basically talking about an atomic state, or in a quantum computing word, it's about qubits. So a qubit would mean it's 0, 1 and a combination of both, that is 0 and 1. So earlier when a binary function, either it is 0 or 1, but in the qubit it can be either 0, 1 and both. So the possibilities now is 2 raised to 3, which would mean that there are 8 possible states of a quantum computing, meaning earlier either the answers that you get in binary computing was only in 0 and 1. Now with this quantum computing, with one single state, you're gonna have 8 different states, I'll say. I do not come up with a better word, but that's what I can think for now. So for anything that a computer would understand is by those 8 states. So now what really it changes? Is it a game changer? Will it increasing the processing speed? Who else has the quantum computers? Is it real? So yes, let me break the ice. It's real. IBM, Google, many companies have them. You should not be surprised if any of the Azure company or AWS company, sorry about that, if any of the cloud computing companies do not have it. They do have it. Now, is it a faster than supercomputer? Maybe, may not be, but a supercomputer or processing, when it comes about binary, they are equated with number of processing or number of threads. It does solve, but in a quantum computing it cannot be exactly mapped in that language. So it's about 8 states, and hence probably it cannot be matched with that language. Now what exactly it's going to do? It's going to solve complex problem kind of in an easy way. So at one instance, when binary is doing yes and no, in octave state or a quantum computing state, it is doing 8 states together. So it's going to solve the same problem, same moment, in a much more complex, the complex will in a much more simpler manner. Now what it means to us. Now let's talk about encryption, if that gives you a hint. So today everything that you use, your iPhone, your WhatsApp, anything that you talk about, they are mostly encrypted. And what encryption would mean? Encryption is nothing but a simple algorithm math. Let me put it this way, an algorithm which cannot be solved is kind of an encryption, or algorithm which cannot be easily solved. It would need a lot of computation speed, meaning today the known or unbreakable encryption like AES 256 and so on cannot be broken easily. It would need a lot of computing processing speed to break that, and it is a risky in a quantum computing age, meaning with a quantum computing you can easily break the encryption. So how do you find this? So all the government files, all the files that you may have encrypted or somebody else may have encrypted, can now, if somebody is storing those encrypting files, they can actually break them once they have access to the quantum computing. You know what? I just talk about WikiLeaks. Um, yes, WikiLeaks. It is a 2008 or 10 episode. Julian Assange, a contractor in NSA US, um, found access to a lot of sensitive, confidential information, and then he happened to leak them on a site known as WikiLeaks. And there are multiple replication of WikiLeaks site. So, what it happened? For in India, it was known that Mayawati, when she was chief minister, she sent an empty civilian aircraft to Mumbai to get her chappal back. Right? It does not stop here. It also talks about uh, Jasmine Revolution. Libya had a civil war. So a lot of three countries together, one after the other, they went through a civil war. Why? Because they got to know that their dictator or their government is doing a lot of corruption, and WikiLeaks was showing that. So the public came to the road and they uprooted the government. Now, of course, there could be some political agenda and many things. The world is not very easy as we think. But yes, WikiLeaks did play a role, and maybe sometime you should see Google search about it or search about it. Now, what I'm talking about, quantum computing is an encryption. If they're encrypted and if it's known to the public, Subhash Chandra Bose, what happened to him? And there are many things like Lal Bahadur Shastri, and there are many things, and there's endless, right, world theories. If those files get encrypted, decrypted, what happens, right? So it brings a world with a lot of chaos. Now, let's move to the next thought, or next part of this video is about quantum computing with AGI. So artificial general intelligence, it's basically an artificial intelligence model which will think on its own, not exactly like a human, but it will not mimic human. It will not just throw some chart or throw some analysis. It's going to actually think. And in my last vlog, I have given an example of AGI driving a car. It's going to understand, hey, you know what, I got stuck in traffic, so maybe I should take a move. It's going to analyze the map and take a decision based on it. So AGI will sooner or later will take a decision. Yes, AGI is not there per the known understanding of the world. It's still 5 years away. And yes, quantum computing is also still 5 years away or 15 years away. Somebody says like that. But let's say, they all are 5 years away. And what happens when the AGI meets the quantum computing?